Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino. Tuesday, August 27, 2024, pre-market report. People, things are happening, and we need to pay attention to this. You all know how I always say, raise your awareness. And, well, that's exactly what we're doing here. What did we find out yesterday? And this is really unheard of. And it's going to lead up to something else here. So we found out yesterday that Bank of America here, our favorite Wall Street bank, and I'm kidding here, they're advising their clients to buy gold, be like central banks. Does that kind of sound familiar to you? We've been only talking about this for over 10 years, betting against the debt, becoming our own central banks. Now, the reason why this is so unusual is the bank itself doesn't make any money off of this. Telling people to buy gold circumvents the banking system. So when you hear a Wall Street super bank, in this case, of course, Bank of America, telling its clients to buy gold, you have to wonder, what do they know? Okay, we already understand. We know exactly what they know to an extremely high order. You and me, we've been betting against the debt, becoming our own central banks now for over 10 freaking years. So, again, this is extraordinary to hear, a super bank, but it gets even better than that. So, how many of you out here have seen the movie The Big Short? If you haven't seen the movie The Big Short, it's time to watch it. And the reason for that is this. So Deutsche Bank, two things out of Deutsche Bank here. Deutsche Bank is saying that the Federal Reserve is now going to aggressively institute a quantitative easing monetary policy. You and I have been talking about this for many, many months. And obviously it's in our face. It's about to happen. But pay more attention to this second line. Deutsche Bank says to short the 10-year treasury. What does that mean? What it means is they're betting against the debt in yet another way. When you're shorting a treasury here, in other words, Deutsche Bank is saying to short the 10-year treasury, they're making a bet. As a matter of fact, they've done this already. They're making a bet that the 10-year yield is going to spike. And that is an incredible thing. First of all, let me say this. We all know, you and me, okay? I'm laughing here. It's just too much. That it's inevitable. It's being built up for this reason. An absolute meltdown on an incredible scale with regard to the debt market. That's what's going on here. That's why central banks are doing what they are doing, what they have been doing since 2008, propping up the system, oceans of debt, and we haven't seen anything yet. Emergency monetary policy by central banks around the world. The Fed's going to jump in here, is going to keep rates artificially suppressed. And of course, you got the promises out of Kaka Camel's mouth and the Big T's mouth. Same thing. They're promising you what the Fed wants. They're playing you like a grand piano, all right? Not you specifically. You follow this blog, you're laughing. You're laughing at all this stuff. So what Deutsche Bank is saying here is they believe that a meltdown in the debt market is going to occur. We've known this, you and me, I don't know how freaking long now. And the fact of the matter is we are in a full-blown crisis, and we can tell simply by opening our eyeballs just a little bit and paying attention to what's going on as central banks colluding with their prospective leaders are pumping the world with debt at a pace we've never seen. At the same time, the world economy is contracting at its fastest pace on record. Now, so just keep these things in mind. You got Wall Street Superbank telling its clients to buy gold, to be like a central bank. You got Deutsche Bank right here saying to short the 10-year treasury. Now, here's a couple of other headlines you might want to pay attention to. Macro funds here have caught the gold bug. In other words, they're loading up on gold. Gold still has plenty of room to run as hedge funds' bullish bets reach a 4-year high. What did I write here? Inflows into gold and commodity ETFs are surging. Sound about right to you? This is something that you and I have been talking about for how freaking long. Here's another one. Institutional investors going for gold amid geopolitical turmoil and inflation. Look, with regard to inflation, you and me and the rest of the people in this world have been lied to since day one with temporary and transitory, and the fact that central banks are in here inflating even more. So when do you think we're going to hear from a real leader who's going to explain to the people of the world that this is a con job on a scale that has never been seen before? Central banks continue to inflate, they're buying it all. And then you got, freaks like the two imbeciles running for office here in the United States. They're not running for anything. They're running for a selection here to be chosen as a mouthpiece, promising exactly what the Fed wants to hear. You can't make this stuff up if you try to, people, but that's the situation that we're in here. So what can we take away from all of this here? If we know for a fact, and I mean, look, don't take my word for anything, people, that at least one Wall Street bank is telling their clients to, well, do what you and I are doing. Bet against the debt. Become your own central bank. Buy gold. If you have another mega bank telling people to short the debt market at the same time, you think there's a coincidence here? Of course not. They see exactly what you and I see. You understand? We're not stupid. As a matter of fact, we are so far ahead of the curve with regard to Deutsche Bank and Bank of America and these hedge funds now that are loading up on commodity ETFs and gold ETFs, people. It's insane. But look, there's an old adage that goes like this. I've said it many, many times. Are you ready for it? Pay attention to this. Nobody knows until everybody knows. And when everybody knows, there's a panic. You and I right now are given a golden opportunity here because you and me, are lions. Because you and me have raised our awareness as to what's happening. We know who our enemy is. We know who the players are. We know what they're trying to do to us. We know where this is eventually all going. I mean, we're already in a full-blown liquidity crisis. We're in a liquidity crisis of epic proportions. You wouldn't know that because it's not being announced. Again, just look at the situation. If we know that central banks are pumping and pumping and pumping and pumping the debt. Last three presidents here in the United States have more than doubled the debt. Take every president before Obama, go back to George Washington. The last three have doubled the debt. That should rattle you a little bit. It should tell you what's happening. In order to keep the illusion real, debt must be pumped into the system. They have to find yet another reason to do it, whether it's another disfiguring disease process, which I think is about to happen here, whether it's expanding war, whatever it is, they got to come up with yet another reason to pull more cash into the now. They can't tell you that. They have to come up with nonsensical reasons to sell you the lie, and that's what's going to happen here. That is what's happening now. We're being sold a massive lie. Again, we're being told that the Fed is about to cut rates. They're cutting rates right now. Again, look at mortgage rates hitting a 2-year low. People have to be told what's happening, but like infantile entities, because that's what they treat us like. But you and me, we're using our God-given intellect here to understand, are things hitting you the wrong way outside of this blog? I bet they are. Because, you see, there's something going on here. Again, this is a natural selection. And if you've been with me for any length of time, or even if you've stuck with me through this particular video until right now, you've been chosen here to carry on something that is bigger than ourselves. I really do believe that here. This is a channel here for winners. We're a part of a revolution here, offering a solution to each other. I mean, what we've come up with here, again, polar opposite of what we're being sold. We do not need lower rates. We need higher rates. We do not need a weaker currency. We need a stronger currency. We need to build the economy from the ground up. Bring back small businesses, the mom and pop shops of yesterday. What they're doing here, all it's doing is fulfilling the corporate agenda. And that means you must be squeezed to death. And I mean that in the literal sense. Look, I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but this really should, when I saw this morning, and this is from today, the Deutsche Bank Big Short 2.0 here. This could be the trade of a lifetime. And I believe they're going to be correct here. I'm not sure how they structured this particular trade. I'll do a little research into that. But Deutsche Bank is now shorting. It's amazing here. And Deutsche Bank is explaining in the top here that the Fed is about to aggressively ease, meaning bond yields should drop. But at the same time, they're betting against it. They're betting against it, believing that we're going to get a sell-off here in the debt market. We're going to get a sell-off here in the debt market. A sell-off that people aren't going to believe as the system is brought down to its knees. But they need a scapegoat. I'm going to say it again. They need an event to occur that they can blame. Because, again, no one's blaming the Federal Reserve for inflation. Again, you got Trump blaming Biden, and the tic-tac thing. I mean, he's selling you this story because he believes you're a sub-moron, not just a moron, a sub-moron. Anyone that believes, no president has the ability. It's not Trump's fault either. A lot of people are blaming Trump. Well, he borrowed more than the last two presidents, Obama and Biden combined, which is actually the truth. But it's not Trump's fault either here. They worked with the central banks to inflate, but no president himself has that ability. You understand? They have to work with the central bank to make it happen. And they've done that. Okay, so I guess they are to blame for a certain degree, but they can't point their fingers at the Federal Reserve. No one's going to do that. You're going to be lied to. You're going to be deceived. You're going to be told, look here, you idiot infantile entities. Don't look over there. That's what they're treating you like. Doesn't that bother you just a little bit? Bothers this guy a lot. But that's okay. Let them play their games, and we're going to continue to play ours. You and I are already shorting the debt, okay? Forget about Deutsche. Deutsche Bank is shorting the debt or betting against the debt in a different way. But by holding gold and silver, gaining exposure to commodities here, we're also betting against the debt. Period. You understand? We're hedged across the board. If you've been with me for any length of time, you couldn't possibly be in better spots than you are now. And I think you're all well aware of that. But it just is interesting to hear. I mean, this is not going to get any attention here. You can look it up for yourself. All right, this headline here, look it up for yourself. And if Deutsche Bank is betting against the debt market, okay, via this way, you know that other super banks are doing the same thing. Once in a while, there's a little bit of truth out there, and it's interesting that we're astute enough to catch it. You understand? Most people don't have the slightest clue. Now, with regard to one more thing, I want to throw this out here. Lions. Those lions of mine, all of us here, that are in this market, that are looking for opportunities to get longer, buy more of this market, hold your fire. Hold your fire. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. Again, hold your fire. Let's wait. Okay, we're going to sit back. We're going to be patient. I believe, again, when the announcement is made that the Fed is cutting rates, they're cutting rates now. But when they announce it, when they tell the infantile entities of the world that they're doing it, because they have to be told, okay, that's when we're going to pull the trigger here. So just hold your fire, all right? With that said, people, I'm going to let you all go. I want to hear from you. What do you think about the Big Short 2.0? And again, Deutsche Bank isn't the only super bank doing this. Bank of America telling his people to buy gold. This is epic. Again, no banker wants you to buy gold. They want you in the dollar or the euro or whatever the central bank issued currency that you are forced to participate in. So we're going to stick to our plan. We don't waver. And that's the beauty of this entire thing. What we have set up, I told you, let them play their games. We're going to play ours. We're invincible. And we are the revolution, people. We are a revolutionary force. And together, we're making a positive difference in this world. I know we are. I feel it in my heart. This guy here loves you with all I got. All right? I will see all of you later, 4 or 5 p.m. Eastern for the live stream. Please comment on what we have discussed here. I want to hear from you. Please share the video. Get it out there. Give it a thumbs up if you found out something here that you found interesting. I would appreciate that too. Again, this is our thing. You got it? See all of you later.